I think. Good morning! I've decided to completely give up on YouTube and all of capitalism itself because I watched Contrapoints' most recent video. So it's all over. Um, you'll never see me again. Bye. Hello? Hello? Oh, I was just kidding. April Fools. April Fools. That was my April Fools. Okay. Good morning. It's Sunday, April 1st. I did want to do just a quick, I'm just going to do this really quick video today. I've got to go do some family business. I just wanted to do, I'm gonna do a longer response video to Contrapoint's video about capitalism because I like it. Contrapoints, I like you. You're much prettier than Peter Coffin. So I'm gonna go through your videos a little more point by point, but today I'm just gonna say the thing that we miss in when we talk about capitalism and socialism and things like this is the unnecessary nature of socialism at all. And it's I'm mostly referencing an article that I read about Denmark and how Denmark was upset because people kept calling them socialist, and Denmark said, "We are not socialist. We are incredibly successful capitalists, and we are generous because we are so successful. We are generous. We have generous welfare programs, generous state programs." I think that's the place to start. I think capitalism versus socialism is already a poison pond by which to have these kind of discussions. Movements fail all the time. I was a big supporter of things like the Occupy movement, and then I was disillusioned. I was a big supporter of Seattle protests in like the 90s or something. I was also very disappointed. I think that was maybe in the 2000s. There was, yeah, it was like early 2000s. There was even Quebec City. There's been giant protests and giant attempts at revolution, and they generally do one big thing, is let me down. And I do believe that a better use of those people's energy would be to do things like start giant housing co-op initiatives or start UBI crowdsource companies or things like that. I think capitalism versus socialism is almost a dead meme, and the meme to use in the future is how to be a generous capitalist, because a generous capitalist has a very different mentality than a capitalist that is not sort of looking at wanting to solve problems, like almost like we need to become super corporate doctors. Maybe I am a little more in line with the Peter Singer thing. I will also respond to that when I do my longer response. I'll watch this Peter Singer thing and I will talk about it as well. I sort of, it's a bit Francis Fukuyama. I would like to also respond to Francis Fukuyama because I do think that in some ways he is right. I don't think there is going to be a big revolution in the political sphere. I think that as we already see how disruptive tech is and new forms of capitalist distribution, we already see how disruptive those things are to traditional kind of top-down hierarchical models in many places. So I would say that solving social problems is going to be one of those things that eventually we figure out how to do with the spirit of generosity as opposed to the spirit of conflict. But I also know conflict is fun, and I know people like to have good guys and bad guys, and I know people like to be like, yeah, we're the moral people, and you are amoral. But the problem is that kind of logic is very fictional and arbitrary, and it jumps back and forth, back and forth, back and forth a million times. And as you said, you like stuff. As you also discussed, people like to eat $2,000 pizzas. People also like to make $2,000 pizzas. And in a world where people cannot make $2,000 pizzas is a world where I cannot make YouTube videos. And because there's a better, more efficient YouTuber somewhere that I am not needed. The $2,000 pizza chef is just not needed, and then they have to go and be sad and do some boring job for the collective computer distributive machino poor person computer massive superstructure. No, I don't know. I'm just saying stuff. But yeah, I will respond more thoroughly at some point. But until next time, peace. And frog.